Welcome back to the Meeple Marathon. Today we're going to be taking a look at Gaia Project. This is one of my personal grail games, considered one of the best solo Euro games out there. Very crunchy, a steep learning curve, but is got an amazing AI. The AI is set up by the Automa Factory, who did Scythe is probably what they're most famous for, but it's a company that all they do is create the solo AI for games. This is the Capstone Games version. There's been several other versions, including Z-Man, but for those of you not familiar with Gaia Project, it is the successor to Terra Mystica, which was a highly popular Euro game about colonization of these fantasy worlds. Basically, this is you going out into the outer space reaches of the Terra Mystica universe. So there are 14 unique factions that you play as, which give you variable powers. But other than that, it is a pure Euro at heart. There is 0 dice involved. There's no luck involved. I believe that's even a tagline that they put on the back of the box, that a game where absolutely no luck is involved. So let's take a look here at what actually comes in Gaia Project. All right, so as per what you would expect from a Euro game, we've got a lot of cubes. Here we've got white cubes, we've got green cubes, and these are actually this is like a little mini Rubik's Cube with one corner missing. Orange cubes, red cubes, blue cubes, yellow cubes, brown cubes, and gray cubes. Alright, so now that we've got all the cubes out of the way, these green ones are interesting. Let's see if we can take a closer look at these here. There you can see that it's like, 8 smaller cubes all glued together, but it's actually only 7 because there's a corner missing out of each one. That's obviously deliberate for a reason. I'm not sure what that stands for, but I'm sure we will find out. All right, then you have basically these, these go on your player boards. So again, you've got, similar to the cubes, you've got gray, you've got white, you've got red, you've got blue, brown, yellow, orange, brown, and yellow. So I'm assuming that everybody gets a package of these and everybody gets a set of these. So let's take a look here. This is actually probably the best color to show up on camera at what we've got here. Supposedly this is one of the things that has improved over the various iterations of Gaia Project are these components. These are nice, thick plastic components. They don't feel like they're gonna break. There's, a little bit of detail, as much as you need. This is not a miniatures game. This is a Euro game. So there's various different types of buildings here. Each one I've put my hands on is slightly different from the other. So as you can tell, each one of these probably has some different function. Again, this is a very in-depth, very, as we like to call it, crunchy Euro. Alright, and even more cubes. Basically, these are probably markers to mark along various tracks. All of these, again, in your various colors. And what do we have here? These are actually not all matching the same color. There's this one random odd shape in there at the bottom, but there's some purple discs, some blue octagons, some gray squares, some yellow circles. All right, so that appears to be all the plastic in the game. Pretty sure this is the Automa deck. Maybe like some brief reference cards here, but let's just take a quick look at these. These appear to be the only cards that come in the game. And you know what's interesting? I have yet to see a rule book. Usually that sits up on top, but not this game. All right, so correct. These are the Automa cards. Not 100% sure what these are. Maybe just, these are probably just player reference cards. Steps 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Terrans, Geodens. Okay, so these must be the different AIs you can play against. Not 100% sure what this is, but this is essentially the cards, which I believe, yeah, you lay these down next to each other. And they go side by side, and so where the green dots are is what actions you're going to be taking. So it's not, every card is unique, and then on top of that, however they land next to each other is unique. So it definitely changes up the AI capabilities. Again, this is not a how to play video because I haven't quite learned how to play. All right, so these appear to be the player boards that are all unique from one another. I do know that all of your pieces are going to go on here, you know, like so. So you can see that each one has various locations. That guy goes there. Where's the circles? The circles go there. These guys go here. So everything has a spot. There we go. And obviously I would continue to place those out. Not sure where these go. I wonder if these like sit on top of here. That would be fun. But yeah, all of these pieces sit out. Obviously you're trying to take these pieces off, put them onto the board, and gain what's underneath. Typical Euro style. But I'm guessing that each one of these functions in a slightly different way. Yes, so you can see just right here in comparison, the symbology here is quite different. The planets here are different. Another aspect of this game that's very unique is that your resources, your kind of power each turn kind of gets dumped into here, and then it can either be, I guess, discarded, or it dumps into here, and then it's got to cycle back to here and then up to here again. And so how you choose to cycle it through this little area up here makes a difference as to how you are going, how many actions you're going to get to spend each turn. So we'll just quickly look through the various player boards. So I'm guessing there's 7 player boards. Seen these guys before on some solo playthroughs. The Itars. That guy looks like a cross between a Yeti and a Chewbacca. All right, so moving on. We've got our research tracks here. There's an instruction manual. All right. So not only is this keeps track of your score around the outside, but these are various research tracks that you push your way up on. Certain factions will start at different levels on this track to begin the game with. Here are powers you can take, only one time use per turn. different cardboard pieces will be slotted in here. Again, a whole lot of Euro goodness. Some fun artwork on the back. It's always cool, and they just take the time to put something on the back. All right. Here we have the Gaia Project rulebook. So let's just see how bad this is gonna look here. All right, various setup for a 3 to 4 player game, 1 to 2 player game. We're still just in setup now. Placing your first structure, choosing a faction, placing your first structure, choosing your first round booster, goal and gameplay, the power cycle. So this, I mean, this doesn't look too bad. Okay, now we're getting into some hefty text here. Oh yeah. Let the fun of reading board game manuals begin. So there is an appendix, more appendices, endgame scoring, advanced setup. So 18 pages. This book's kind of big. The text is not tiny, but it's certainly not huge. But 18 pages isn't as bad as I was expecting. Additional appendices, and then there is a whole separate rule book for the Automa Factory. The Automa does not follow the rules. So, Automa components, setup, draw an Automa decision card, Automa actions. Okay. There's even ways to increase the difficulty. All right, and then a whole lot of cardboard, of course. Again, like we noticed, there are no dice, there's no health counters, anything like that. It's just a whole bunch of cardboard tokens and a whole bunch of plastic pieces. Ooh, what's this at the bottom? Automa factions. It's almost like a little treasure. Automa player aid. Oh, that's nice. Okay. Wonder why that was on the very bottom. All right. So here is one of the pieces that changes. You move one of your trackers, I know, around this board, and that depends on how easily you can Gaia form something. There's this level here. There's going to be various tokens here. Again, I need to dive into the rules. The backside is just blank. There's that piece. And then it appears that each of these spaces has a, this is upside down. There's lots of these pieces, so these are going to be laid out at the beginning. I think you may be able to add some throughout the game, but these are the planets you're obviously Gaia forming. You're traveling around, so this is like your map. And then these are all the various cardboard pieces that get spread out throughout the board to make gameplay a little different. A whole lot of symbology to learn. But again, I purchased this game because I wanted a good brain-burning Euro to play with a great solo Automa so that I can simply take my time learning the rules and learning how to play the game and take my time playing and not worrying about having to teach someone else and someone else getting frustrated and anything like that. So I think that there is definitely a space for solo Euro games in the future. Obviously, COVID has increased the need for soloable games, but just the fact that, you know, as the main proprietor of board games in my house, I'm the one who always is reading the rule books, and then to turn around and have to teach someone the game is just added on. But then on top of it, you always feel like you never quite teach it as well as you know it, even if it's the first time each of you have played it, because you've read through the entire rule book. And I think there definitely is something to say to just sit down and play against a very well done bot, because then you don't feel bad about gaining any type of competitive edge. One thing I have noticed here as I'm sitting here, which I think is really nice, and I appreciate because I've done some playtesting for games myself, is that they've just taken the time to list everybody's names, and it's very upfront and obvious. Normally this kind of stuff is usually in the rule book somewhere, you know, but it's not upfront and center. Here is just what the back of the box looks like. You can see things somewhat set up and in action. Again, very much lots of iconography. Again, no dice, no luck involved, all Euro mechanics. And that is Gaia Project. So keep an eye out for a storage solution video. Certainly will be coming next, because this one's just screaming for some kind of good storage setup, along with a how to play video and an extended playthrough video. So we're going to give this game the full Meeple Marathon treatment here coming up on the channel. If you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more videos like this, including more Gaia Project content, please consider subscribing to the channel. Once again, thanks for watching. Have a great day.